audio? Is it cool to record all these audios? I'm not sure. We'll see.
We can just have a try. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Okay,
I can see we are live right now.
But
I'm not sure.
Is it
possible to hear our voice? Друзья, кто-нибудь может сказать, как нас слышно? Вот именно в митинге, в лайве. Если там звук, скажите, пожалуйста. I just asking my people to check the voice online. I'm not sure. Если там звук, скажите, because I just asking my people to check the voice online. I'm not sure. Если там звук, скажите, because I just asking my people. I think we are going to record our voice like from microphone to another microphone, so maybe sound will be not that good as it could be. I think it's most important. We are here and we can have a connection. And sorry, thank you for inviting me for this discussion.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's going on here?
So hi everybody, and today it's my great honor and pleasure to invite Alex. For sure. 60, literally translated. There is a story, of course, behind that. But anyhow, so here we are. So Alex has practiced Shaolin Kung Fu for quite many years, and he used to practice Shaolin Kung Fu in my town. Not so far from Zhengzhou, Hэнань province, central China, where is the birthplace of Shaolin Kung Fu. And also, Shaolin Temple is still located over there right now. And so today we, based on Alex's story, we can see how let's say a person practice Shaolin Kung Fu at as an adult to achieve a very high level. And of course, beyond the Kung Fu is Alex's story in China and in his hometown, Russia. Very high level. So as I always shared with all of us, the story, what is Kung Fu? Kung Fu literally translated in China, Kung Fu is about time. What is time? Time is life. So Kung Fu somehow is a way of life. No matter you put it in your way of life or not, or you translate, you practice Kung Fu just for Kung Fu, but actually it is life. It is a part of your life. Anyhow, so welcome everyone to join in and also give the best and warmest welcome to Alex. Anyhow, and thank you very much for welcome everyone.
Yes, Shifeng, Shifu, thank you for inviting me, and I have to briefly introduce you because you was born in Hэнань province. The Hэнань province is the hometown of Shaolin Temple and Shaolin Master for inviting Kung Fu all together. So you was born. Пожалуйста, выключи сразу звук, кто присоединился, чтобы не тратить на нас время. Спасибо. And so Shifu, so I understand it. How to you have to be honored by and involved and passionate by this old Shaolin culture, Kung Fu culture, and because you are Chinese, so you have to be honored to me that you invite me for interview with you. So thank you again. And Kung Fu culture.
So let's go start. Okay. So here, so Alex, please share with us what brings you into Kung Fu. Since when you started practicing, or you have you having the idea to jump into the river of kung fu. You to have fun.
Actually, my reason to join Shaolin lifestyle, I will say lifestyle, right? My reason that was not my to join Shaolin. Not because I wish to get a Shaolin temple or something like that. I think about Shaolin temple not, but because it's kind of Yuan Fen is like kind of destiny. Not because I wish. Why so? Because I think about. I thought my great grandfather was Chinese. So I think it's only reason to get this place. Place. The only one thing how I can get the emotional feeling about probably how to be a Chinese person. This place. So in this sense, I think I have to dive into the culture, emotional feeling. So how I can dive into the Chinese culture. So I think I know on that moment I know nothing about dive except three things. So how I can is Chinese medicine, Chinese kung fu, and Chinese tea. So from these three things, I just choose the most closest thing to me is Chinese martial arts because the whole life I feel myself sporty and I feel myself I'm that person who can be involved by martial arts. So this is why I choose the martial arts because how I can drink. What happens when I get to China? What I need to do is study medicine. It's too late because I was already 25 years old. And if I start to study Chinese tea, what I have to do? Drink tea, pick up the tea. So this is why I chose martial arts.
Well, so first of all, you have, let's say, the Chinese gene. So maybe how many? 8%. No. One of 8. Well, so first of all, you have blood. Let's say is the Chinese from China. So maybe how many?
Yes.
0.5%, let's say. Yeah. And secondly, so to join into or dive into deeply in Chinese culture, so there are different ways. For example, learning Chinese language, and to travel to China to have fun, and traditional Chinese medicine, kung fu, and Chinese tea, different ways. Fear as Chinese language, a lifestyle how Chinese people are into, and then compare with this path, you choose the way of kung fu to express your feeling. To be, let's say, in Chinese lifestyle.
Yes, that's right. Yes, because Chinese culture is something different that I thought when I'm talking about Russian culture, for example. Yes, that's right. I compare with the Chinese culture. At this moment, maybe it's the same thing. When I talk about, when I just came to the China, I figure out that this is completely different things because Chinese culture includes many sides of our lifestyle, human being lifestyle. So this is complicated thing that I have to figure out while I'm practicing kung fu, Shaolin kung fu or whatever kung fu. Just kung fu like kind, as you said before. This is complicated thing that I have to figure out.
So I know that you training Chinese kung fu for quite many years. So since when you physically and get into China? So,
Basically,
and
first time
how you handle with training, let's say, the visa, this, and also the financial part. Because for many people, they have a dream. Okay, I would like to go to China to training kung fu. Like even now, I'm giving class online quite a lot. The people who like to come to China, firstly, how they can get visa, right? And secondly, how they get the financial part. So even now, to start, I mean, of course, people have different job. I mean, to put into it. So basically to say, you maybe some of you maybe we take $1,000 and we think it's enough for at least to have a try. So something like this. Or you worried, oh, China is so far. Maybe some of the culture, what will happen at the abroad even? People are think if they never ever into China, they are somehow slightly worried or something like this. Or when you get into China and what put you make the decision, and being ready for the visa part, for the financial part. They are somehow slightly worried or something like this.
I think
When you get into China and
I many times heard about dreams, about Shaolin Temple dreams. Many people dreaming about it. Maybe it's my hope that I'm not dreaming about Shaolin Temple. I have no idea that it's not possible. I have no idea that somebody dreaming about it. Maybe, and I have no idea that to get Chinese could be a hard task to do. I didn't know that. I have no idea. So I just understand that I have to do something. I have no idea that big in my life is I have to go gradually, like step by step. So I just sometimes start searching kind of master or Shifeng for myself. Have to go gradually, like step by step. I think is a big deal to find a person, find a teacher, and a Shifeng. So on the first moment, I think start searching from like my home, from find the person, and just Google it and try to find somebody. Since I realized that it's pretty impossible. I clearly see that I just Google it and try to find somebody. The like how to say natural or real master is not in the website. The real master have no website at all. Just Google it. He have just couple of students. So since that point, I try to find the master in Russia in the website and try to ask and think about it in the future to follow his path and join to him in Russia because it's more easier. And then move to the China with him. Try to ask. So this is how I find the Shi Yanbing in Moscow. The Shaolin Temple Heshang is a master in 34th generation, and so my ideas become true with him. What I think, I get this school and start practicing, and then so just everything happens like step by step. So what I think, I started a student in Moscow, and then I try to get the Shaolin Temple just as like a summer vacation, summer camp. Just everything that school with the Shi Yanbing, and then Moscow, and then maybe the more hardest decision it was get the more longer visa. So almost every student get just have just 2 weeks or 3 weeks visa, but I create the visa for a couple of months. And since the summer camp comes over, I realized that I will stay there for some time. Yeah, and I think this is like a checkpoint. It's like important, like 热点, the important point in my story. Yeah, because I just it's like when you like a checkpoint, when you riding a horse, like 热点. How you call it in English? I have to hold this kind of ropes.
The rope,
Yeah, the rope is like and in that point I just release all ropes. I just trust to my horse. I have like life
the rope,
flow of life, So I just release it and accept everything what happens. So I think this point is important because of this.
All right, so let's sum it up. So you mean that when you get the dream or the hope to go to China and to practice, first you being somehow a little bit ready for your financial part, and you apply the visa. When you get for maybe for a while, let's say for a couple of weeks, and you just get into China. And like you swim in the ocean, and you get into the ocean and follow the wave to feel whatever the wave bringing. But you still have like your purpose, your direction, and your situation to adjust, and at the same time to adjust your path to follow the wave and to enjoy what the wave brings you to. And at the same time to adjust your path.
Yes, kind of.
Follow the wave. Okay, and maybe we are wondering that to practice in China, right? Maybe we should we learn Chinese language? Of course, if we have time, we are capable, or we should. Maybe we travel any country or learn in any country. But is it like the must to do of learning language? And I know that you speak Chinese language, even Henan dialect. And so, is it necessary of learning language? And how Chinese language, even what if you speak language? How it will help you to keep your journey going on? Necessary of learning language. And
I feel that your question comes from Chinese person. It's super cool question because I never heard similar question to me, like from the Russian people or another foreigners. I feel that your question comes from Chinese person. Just because of many people asking me like from about this situation, and because of thinking about this situation like a dream, because I came there because of dream. I just have no idea about why people have dream about Shaolin Temple and then think, how I will get food there, how I can speak with the Chinese people. I can't speak Chinese language. What I have to do, blah blah blah. But I have no dream about the Shaolin Temple. But I feel that this kind of question is not a problem at all. What I have to do, blah blah blah.
So you don't need to speak Chinese language to get into there and to start your training at least. in Tai Chi, we have a pushing hand training. So two partners, they are pushing each other. Pushing hand is literally translation of in Tai Chi in Chinese, but more, let's say, more dramatic way to translate and with greater sense, we call the boxing with the ear. As you see, so when you cannot speak Chinese, but you see how your shifu move, how maybe how him or she her construct their body with a sense of feeling and a bit of thought. So you're getting. This is another benefit, like to be a foreigner to learn Chinese Kung Fu. It helps you a lot if you are focusing on to grow up your sensitivity. This is another benefit, because as you see, if we see some people who, like, for example, some people with disability, they couldn't see or they couldn't hear. But if they couldn't see, they have greater sensitivity of direction. If we see some people with sensitivity of the touching, some people with disability, they use the stick to touch.
Hold on. I will check my headphones. Sorry.
Okay. But if they couldn't see, they have greater sensitivity of direction. So all right. So since Alex left, but we keep our conversation going on.
Hold on.
So if we see the people who with like eye disability, they use stick to check out the direction when they walk on the road. So they have much better sensitivity than us, the so-called common people. Even the common people, we have all of us. We have a sort of disability in different paths, in different ways. Well, if you are a foreigner, if you cannot speak Chinese language, don't worry. And all the case is you got to focus. If you focus on it, your sensitivity of Kung Fu or Chinese language will getting much more quickly improvement. But if you don't focus, of course you are lost. You got to focus. So they see the benefits of not speaking Chinese. Of course, if you speak Chinese language, as Alex said, maybe you can directly connect with your teacher's thought. They see another benefit for Chinese people who can understand the language. So both of us, of course, in different paths to see. Both Chinese and foreigners, they have different advantage. They see another benefit. If, no matter whom you are, you got to concentrate on. For you couldn't speak Chinese language, you grow up your sensitivity quickly. For you who can't speak Chinese language, maybe you think you understand the master saying by word, but you don't know how to act it by your body. And maybe it is sensitivity, but if you are too cocky, it becomes your disability. Saying by word, but you don't know how to this is. And sensitivity is one of the great training and one of the very necessary training of Kung Fu. So since we have, I take three things, 3S to sum up Kung Fu. Or we can say generally all sports, speed, no matter any style of sports, include Kung Fu, no matter any style of Kung Fu, strength, and sensitivity. Sensitivity somehow is like about skills, skills. Yeah. So, a little bit of story about your Chinese language. So you get when you were in China, you improve your Kung Fu, and also you learned a lot Chinese language. I believe so. And how you get this experience and what bring you into this level? Your Kung Fu, and also you
You mean what? I
your
don't know.
Chinese language. I mean, from zero to now, talk with the Chinese person. I say almost, let's say, fluently.
Okay, I see. You mean what? I think I have to say one story from my life. So I have already studied martial arts for 4 years at that point, and I decided to get the university in China to study a language. On that point, I already can speak like a spoken Chinese. I have a spoken Chinese and a pretty native spoken Chinese, you know. And I learned a couple of sentences which I can speak as like a Bendijan, like a Hennanren, like a very local person. When I pick up a taxi in Dongfeng, nobody can realize that I'm a foreigner. You know, they every time very amazed about, because well, I have a white skin, I'm not Chinese. How it's possible? How I can speak like that? But it's like only about pronunciation, you know, of most common few sentences. And then week from week, this amount of sentences with fluent pronunciation is growing up. And then in 2015, when I 2019, when I go to the Beijing Normal University, start to study Chinese philosophy, I came to the university, and the first time I met foreigners who can speak Chinese, who learned Chinese for a couple of years, like from 1 year to 5 years. I came to the university, and the first time I met foreigners, and you know, we go to the like fanguar, like a cafe. We go to the cafe to take some food, and we are 5 person. Some of my friends can speak and read and write Chinese characters fluently. Very beautiful, very good. But when we get coffee, I have to order every dishes because nobody of them can speak Chinese good enough to be understandable for the local people. For example, a Beijing person, when he started talking with these guys, like foreigners, they understand nothing. In opposite side, it happens the same thing. They cannot understand each other, but they can read the menu. They can read menu and can understand all characters, can write these characters. So this is a difference, you see. So even I can say they know Chinese language, they are sometimes when they talk in Chinese, we cannot understand them. But in some sense, of course, we can understand these kind of foreigners who learn Chinese language in their hometown. We can understand them for sure. Many of them is going this way. I won't say that is wrong way. I just would like to emphasize that between characters exists Chinese culture. You know, so Chinese language is not just a language. It's difficult to learn it because in the words, every word have culture inside. What does it mean? It means that some phrases which we learned in while like classes for example, in Russia, if I will start learning Chinese language in Russia, I will start learning some common phrases, some common sentences in Chinese, and I will say that for example, in Russia, if I will start learning Chinese and I will say this, I will start learning some common phrases, some common sentences. You know, Chinese culture is hidden because one character or 10 characters could be useful for certain situation. But under this certain character have different, sometimes completely different meaning. You know, And why it's important in Chinese culture? Because Chinese culture is more about feelings. So when Chinese people talking about something, they are never have to be straight in the position. They every time if they were talking about this feast, so nobody will say this form have 4 fingers, 5 fingers, and then have another side, and you can like they never will say that. They will talk about a qi about around the fist, and maybe about the head, maybe about eyes, where I can see a mirror of the fist, you know. Foreigners don't realize that, and this is a problem, not a language. But these kind of things, like culture things, I will say, they are reachable while practicing martial arts. Because martial arts is like a big thing of, I would say, so it's a big part of the Chinese culture. So martial arts include everything, like a language, medicine, acupuncture, and qi, and relationships between teacher and master, and son and father, and so on, so on. Everything. Chinese martial arts include everything.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, we can talk more detail as you shared. Chinese martial arts, if we look up Chinese martial arts, we called in the beginning of the Chinese martial arts, it's called pictograph arts. For example, we have tiger pose, dragon pose, bird pose, eagle, snake, this and bear, and they are just like we follow up the animal, the shape, or the animal movement, and we create a different style of kung fu. Chinese character is the same. It's pictograph arts too. It's pictograph, like say painting and drawing. From Chinese, if you learn Chinese kung fu very well, Chinese martial arts well, it helps you a lot to understand Chinese language. And if you learn Chinese language very well, it on the other side is same, because they are similar arts. Or in a sort of way to say, they are all pictograph arts in metaphor way and in physical way. Respectively. So this is, I think this is part of the reason you, with your Chinese kung fu getting better, along is your Chinese language getting better. Together as oneness, it brings you deep and clear understanding of Chinese culture, much more than, let's say, your friend or your classmates whom just learning Chinese language. Deep. Because at the end, we share no matter each language, the culture behind the language. Of course, the language is just a tool to express your culture, your feeling, your emotion, your thoughts. And martial arts too. Even today, I just share with my students and friends that now in the beginning we train the form. We make the form, the shape of the form clearly. But later, make your emotion the form, and together as one. This we call in Chinese we call it 身心合一. Your body and your mind united in oneness. I think you are a great example and model to united Chinese man and Chinese form. Let's see the shape in oneness. It brings you in a very high level. In efficiently, I cannot say in short time, but efficiently and effectively. And thank you for your amazing story. And okay, so the last one. What does Chinese martial arts mean to you? Thank you for your amazing story. And let's say, so the last one, and beyond your Chinese blood. So Chinese, what drives you Chinese martial arts as a way of life. And beyond, what does it mean to you? So, what drives you?
It's a complicated and simple question at the same time. Yeah. You know what I'm like to do with like my experience today, from day to day, almost every day. It's a complicated and simple question. When I stay just on the floor and waiting something, I have just couple of seconds, 3 seconds. I begin generate some movements, like martial arts movements, and these kind of feelings which I get from these movements, it's I cannot explain what is for me. It's like 道可道非常道, like 名可名非常名. It's like I cannot explain it because it couldn't be explained, not because I not study enough for that, right? It's just because it's like kind of feelings. Because I think like feelings is an inner thing and words is outer thing, and they could be for sure they are related to each other, and for sure, but it's different things. So we use words for certain things and we use feelings for certain things. So if we just can imagine the situation like when something dangerous happens with mother and children, the mother have no time to think about a situation. The body just do something. Just something dangerous happens. So yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think the feelings is very important part, and the martial arts give me another way of feelings. I'm not before practicing martial arts, I have some expectations from feelings, and I thought the feelings they are to support my desires. But now I realize that the life almost created from feelings, and the words is useful just for communication, So in sense, just imagine the situation when we can communicate with each other without any words. I think we become more I think it will create more better world, more better. But I think as well, at the same time, in another hand, I understand that that's not possible. It's not possible, and this is a life. This is a life. So,
Well, so you mean like what what training the martial art mean to you is like untalkable. It's like the Tao. Of course, we can't talk about it. We can't use our word to communicate, to express it. But if we talk it, it's not what you exactly mean, or it's not the total meaning of you would like to express. Just like the Tao. If we can talk about the Tao is not the eternal Tao. If we can talk about the meaning of martial art to you is not the exactly meaning of martial art. It's just like it's like Wu Wei, non-action, the meaning of martial art to you, or like doing without doing. Exactly. It's and so this exactly this very question exactly express what we talk about in the very beginning of our talk show and sharing. It is my lifestyle. So martial arts is like your lifestyle. For me, it's like a way of a path of my life. So this is the Tao in Chinese. The Tao, we can translate it as a way, a path. Tao Te Ching used to translate the way of life. So this is the way of life. All right. All in all, and thank you very much, Alex, to share your amazing story and to share the Dao of Chinese martial arts to all of us, and also some people maybe will watch later, and to share your personal ideas and the story experience to, let's say, to grounded your dream and put the seed into the ground and let it grow. And we always share the keep our eyes on the stars and our feet on the ground. So this is like a philosophy way to say it. But in Kung Fu, it's the same. In Kung Fu, no matter any style, Shaolin style, Tai Chi style, or Taekwondo, Karate, or Russia, you have Samba, right?
Yeah, we have.
So in one way, we must releasing 放松，对不对？ Releasing our body weight, releasing all the muscle into the ground. So, but on the other hand, we must gather all the energy. One is releasing our body weight on the ground. Another is gathering all our body weight from one side to another side. This is no matter any style. And this is the principle. Just like our dream, we have feeling, but we all use our daily life action to make the dream become the reality. So you are the example. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, Li Shifu, do you have a couple of minutes?
Well, I have, yeah.
Okay. We have a question from Anton, and before I ask a question, just 1 minute. I would like to emphasize how smart you are. Because you just slowly navigate me to the like Chinese martial arts, and Dao is like have a one fundamental thing. And what's important thing to me is knows that your methodology of like, or your kung fu system exists this word Dao, like Zhong Jin Dao, right? So you're like Zhong Ming. You're very smart. You're a very smart person because you follow me from on this part. Thank you for this. And we will ask this. We will hear. We have a question from Anton. Anton, you are online.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Lee, Alex. Hi from Moscow.
Good.
Hi, Anton.
I have a question for Lee. Say, please, a little about ancient style kung fu, drunk kung fu. Your student practice this is ancient style or not?
Drunken style.
Drunk kung fu style, yes.
Yeah, all right. So, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Drunken style, actually, to see the history of kung fu, I can say that drunken style created mostly, we created because, in China, we have a very long history of drinking, like in Russia, maybe like in everywhere in this world. Some people, they drink alcohol, some people, they drink coffee, some people, they drink tea. So since we created, because in China, we also have very cold place. In the winter, at that moment, no air condition, no heating system. People drink alcohol to keep warm. So if you read Chinese literature, you can see a lot of pieces that are describing the custom of drinking. So when we, for example, in the very beginning, how drunken style created, it's like somehow like this. So when the people who practice kung fu, let's say they celebrate, for example, their graduation, or they feel they training quite fine, and then maybe they drink some alcohol. Let's say in Chinese we say baijis. maybe they get drunk. So you get drunk, you become very active. Sometimes the drinking make you very stupid. But sometimes if you are not totally drunk, it helps you to hit your body, to let you relax your mind and your body to move in the way which you thought you will not move like that, which you thought you are not capable of moving like that. So, and then, step by step, so drinking style not is the modern wushu. It is somehow, let's say, the form formed, or the style become more and more popular because of the movie. So people see maybe Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan, Jet Li movie, and then fascinating about that. But it's just like any kung fu style. It with a little bit of history, but highlighted in this world right now because of social media. This is created like when you get drunk, you almost full, but then at that moment you still can come back. So it is from the drunken, and after that, some master maybe when they wake up, they remember they got drunk, they move some movements they couldn't move, and also it may be applied for fighting and self-defense. At least they make people think you are weak because you are get drunk, but actually you are not. You are clear. Maybe you little bit get drunk, but you are even more clear. There is a story about Wu Song Da Hu, a Chinese warrior. A Chinese warrior beat up with a tiger in Song Dynasty, 1,000 years ago. So why he can beat up the tiger? Maybe it's a fairy tale, but it somehow makes sense. Because when he got drunk, little bit drunk, he met up a tiger. And of course, if he didn't get drunk, he will directly run away because a tiger is coming. But when he gets drunk, he gets somehow maybe a little bit stupid, but in braveness. This is what many people get drunk, they do. But at that moment, his braveness overcomes the stupid. So he fight with the tiger with his technique, with his power, and he win. So this is how the little bit history of the drunk style. But mostly now, people transfer drunk style because, for example, you need flexibility and strength and some imagination. So if we have like this three elements, strength, flexibility, and sort of imagination, but your imagination with a path of application in reality, you can make your own drunken style. If we have like this three elements, so this is about the drunken style. Flexibility and sort of imagination, but your imagination with
Great, thank you. This is interesting practice.
Yeah. You can make your own drunken style. But now we mostly use drunken style like this for fun, for show. But in reality,
for fun, for movie.
Yeah, for movie. Always be clear your mind. Be clear your mind, and then you can act which you want to act. Here we don't, encourage our audience to drink. No, you drink. It's your hobby. It's your whatever. But we don't I drink. But we don't encourage you. You're training kung fu master. You need to drink. No, it's just for fun. It's a style. You can have a try. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Shifu,
Thank you so much.
Li Shifu, I have another question. In this meeting room is Taisha. Taisha tried to find me in St. Petersburg. However, she is from another part of Russia. She's from the middle of Russia. And that was a kind of young fan. The reason why we didn't met each other in St. Petersburg. She tried to find me in St. Petersburg. We have a meeting point. We point like, that was met each other, but I was ill in that day. So she have a question for me, and I think it should be good if I will ask you about this question. So Taisha asking me about the physical preparation. What is physical? Should be good if I will ask you about this question. So I think her idea is get Shaolin Temple as soon as she can, and she tried to prepare herself for Shaolin martial arts practicing. Do you have some suggestions how she have to prepare herself? Because of Shaolin or Chinese martial arts altogether have like something different. So in that case that she knows nothing about Chinese martial arts, do she have to prepare herself in special way?
Well, so I will answer firstly, and you got to answer too.
So
Because you have like a similar in something in common too. Okay, well, of course, in Chinese we said 人无远虑，必有近忧. So if you don't think far, you will have a little problem in front. So which means, like life, we get to have like we follow the wave of life, just what you shared. But also, we need a purpose of life. Just like you had a purpose to go to China to practice, and when you really into China, you let the wave, you follow the wave. But before, we had a purpose. Like as you said, we got to be ready. But what kind of things technically we should be ready? For example, now maybe because the COVID policy or whatever, or visa part or financial part, we couldn't really go to there. But what we can do is, if you have spare time, now maybe because you Taisia, right? Whom?
Taisha, yes, Taisha.
Okay, Taisia, you can follow Alex to training online or face to face if you meet up to feel it, because there is a master already over there. So sometimes there is a master in front of you, but you don't know. Many of us, we have like this dream of there is a far mountain, a remote mountain, and there is an old guy or old master who can help me to solve all the problems of I have, or who can help me become a Superman or Wonder Woman. They may have, but the problem they may not. And sometimes the master is just in front of us. Of course. So to be ready to go there, first, if you have free time, you can directly start right now after our meeting, even now, to practice with Alex, because he's really great. From here, I can guarantee. And to practice with him, to feel it. This is the way you would like to work on, even now or not. And you can feel how he practiced, how he learned Chinese language, and also and how he dive into this. Maybe it can give you some inspiration or ideas to get in. From me, technically to say, first you can and also read some like Chinese philosophy. Like say if you want to go to Shaolin Temple, they related with the Buddhism philosophy. And but the very original of Chinese philosophy is the Taoism philosophy. And we have Confucianism philosophy. So these three things we call, in Chinese we call 三教合一, three religion philosophy. We don't talk about religion, we talk about three philosophy united in oneness. This is the background of Chinese kung-fu. And on the other hand, also you can learn some Chinese language, some Chinese character. Just if you don't have a lot of time, just learn a little bit of Chinese language, how to speak it. The tongues, the 4 different tongues, how we make the tongues. And more importantly, try to write down or even drawing down the Chinese character to understand what's that. For you, maybe it's very, in the beginning, you feel so challenging to write it down, the Chinese character, because it's a very different system. it will help you to understand the pictograph art, which is exactly the same as Chinese Kung Fu. So this is two things. One is like to read the liberal Chinese philosophy, Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. No need to, if it's hard to understand, just to have a try to make sense of it. Secondly, try to write down or speak a liberal Chinese and write down the Chinese character to feel pictograph arts. Pictograph arts. Because no matter Kung Fu or language, they include three things. Speak any language, include Chinese language. You must have sound. You must have the shape and the meaning. Sound, shape, meaning. In Kung Fu, exactly same. Sound, which is related to breathing. Shape, which is the form. Meaning, which is the energy flowing. They are quite related. So they will help each other a lot and meaning to using two legs to work on. Just like Alex dive into the Chinese culture or Chinese Kung Fu, whatever. So this is some little sharing about my understanding, how you be ready. You know, you even don't need to go to there if we cannot right now. Of course, you go to there, you can really feel how it goes. Like I was fond of Nabokov. And when I visited St. Petersburg of Museum of Nabokov, I said, wow. And I didn't know he loved butterfly so much. He has so much example of butterfly. I said, oh my gosh, okay. I feel it. But that is just a place in a timing. You get into it. But before that, I already know a little bit of Nabokov. And when I really get there, I have more sensation, more feeling. That's it. And so this is how you prepare. The right now, the master is in front of you, whom knows Chinese culture, I mean, general Chinese culture, include Chinese language and Chinese Kung Fu, with a similar background with you a lot. I believe that you can learn a lot with Alex. Of course, here, if you have more like specific question, feel free to share with me. And I think both of us, we can cooperate with you for working on the same path of the passion we are into. Yeah.
Thank you, Shifeng, for the 回答по-китайски, giving an answer. Yeah, I think it's important to get some different points of view about the same thing. So I just talking about that the practicing martial arts is completely that thing that helps me from not me, just the help participant, the person who practicing, like practitioner, to get this feeling from inside. And in this sense, when you get feelings inside yourself, you can release it all around you, like 360 degrees. But when we have just desires like get to Shaolin Temple, it's like desire is a straightforward thing. When we have desires, we miss everything around. This is the point. This is a point which I get from practicing martial arts. So thank you for having me and for inviting me for this interview. I think it's very fruitful for me, for you, and for sure for everybody around us. So I'm not sure this recording is good enough or not, because have some difficulties with the sound, unfortunately. But we can have meet another one time with you, and if you don't mind, I will ask you a couple of questions. Because so thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you for joining the talk. And I believe that your story can help technically and emotionally, spiritually, with a lot of person who have the dream, or even they moved already to make, like say, their path more proper, and to live in this no matter style of life or the way of life. And thank you again, Alex, and thank you all of you whom join in and share with your time and your question and your passion and emotion with us. And once again, and we are looking forward to share with all of you more later. Okay.
Sure. So have a good day. Thank you, Rishu, for your time, and best wishes for your classes today and all future along.
Thank you all. Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye bye.
See ya. 再见。Ребята, всем привет! Спасибо, что титры в конце смотрите. Надеюсь, меня сейчас слышно. Мы совершенно случайно договорились об этой встрече. Мы решили поговорить, потому что у Ли Шифу есть вопросы с его студентами, поскольку он китаец, не иностранец. Некоторые моменты ему сложно объяснить, и мы решили созвониться и обсудить эти вопросы, которые вы слышали. А потом я предложил их записать на видео и вывести в трансляцию. Короче говоря, все произошло неожиданно, так что я не успел подготовиться, как транслировать на YouTube звук. Вот. Скорее всего, там было не очень все слышно, но те, кто очень хотели, вы смогли найти ссылку на митинг и побыть с нами в прямом эфире. Вот, большое вам спасибо. Поэтому сильно не ругайтесь. Кто умеет настраивать через OBS всякие трансляции, митинг, чтобы звук был хороший, пишите, пожалуйста. Вот. Наташа, happy... Hi there, have a nice interview. Thank you, Наташа. Наташа каждый день после практики утренней приветствует. Я очень рад читать, уже почти что привык, поэтому, Наташа, не уходите. Все, спасибо большое, уже читаю от вас сообщения. До скорых встреч, встретимся на практике завтра утром. Хорошего дня, пока-пока.